Hey guys, this is Michael from Opeth, and you're watching Heavy Consequence on Consequence of Sound.
We have the new album in Cauda Venenum,
Correct?
and it's Opeth's 13th album.
Yeah.
A feat in itself.
Yes.
But you had this ambitious decision to release it in both as an English version and a Swedish version, and I wanted to know, why was it important, particularly with this album, to present both versions?
It wasn't important, really. I figured, why not? I generally I want to some idea when I start writing for a new album, and it can be simple ideas such as heavy, or soft, or wild, and this time it was Swedish. So I didn't have I don't particularly have anything I have to get off my chest, and it would be easy to do that with the Swedish language. I just came up with the idea, taking my kids to school one morning, and that had me starting to write music. So I started to write a lot of music with the idea of this Swedish language record, not lyrics. That came later on, So it was just an idea I had that inspired me for some reason. I can't explain it, to be honest. But then, as I was progressing with my work, I really liked it. Music. I'm really happy with this record. And I got a bit insecure as to whether people might skip on this album if they don't understand what I'm singing. So I decided later on that I'll do an English version too, just in case. Because I was like that. I had difficulties listening to bands who sang in a language that I didn't understand myself. I overcome that since, luckily. But I was just a bit insecure. So I decided it's not too much work to do that other version. I did it.
Some of the notes leading up to the album, you mentioned how heavy music or heaviness in general has taken on a different meaning for you since first starting Opeth. Can you explain and kind of expand on that sentiment?
Yeah, I mean, we're a metal band, and our roots are death metal music. That's generally considered very heavy. And it is heavy. Death metal music, Meshuggah, Slayer, whatever, they're heavy, I guess, in the traditional metal sense. But you can also have heavy emotions. And to me, heavy chord progressions doesn't need to be played on a distorted guitar. You don't need distortion. You don't need that full fat sound to achieve that type of heaviness. For instance, I've been consuming lots of classical music. It's nothing to do with generic metal music. It's still, can I swear?
Sure.
Fucking heavy. Jazz, some of that stuff that I play, like Coltrane, you play Love Supreme. I mean, that's heavy to me. But I guess, younger metal kids, especially, would probably think that I'm way off point, But that's what it is to me. It doesn't, I appreciate that traditional metal heaviness too. But there's a different side. If you have to talk about that word, it's more to heaviness than heavy guitars and drums and screaming vocals, at least to me.
Great. And I want to get into just a few of the songs of the album. I really dig the track Dignity.
Cheers.
And there's a lot going on in that one tune dynamically. Can you speak on that song both musically and lyrically?
Yeah, that was the last one I wrote. And I had started early on and kind of abandoned that session and kind of forgot about it. And I didn't have opening track. No, nothing really spoke to me from the music. Like, I'm your opening track, So I open up an older file, like one of the first things I've been working on for this record. And it was called Heap, as in Uriah Heep. Because they have a song, Uriah Heep has a song called Blind Eye. It has that, and that was the acoustic section that's still in the song, Dignity. So I was like, that's not bad. Why did I stop writing on this one? And I just commenced work on it, and finished it, and deliberately wrote it as the opening track because I had too much music already to fit onto a record. In fact, we ended up with 3 bonus tracks, meaning 6 bonus tracks because there's 2 languages.
Okay.
but I didn't have an opening track until I finished that one. So the first riff was like, how do I want to open up the record? And came up with that.
That's great.
Why not?
And then there's the first single, Heart in Hand.
Mm-hmm.
Also one of the longest songs on the album, but at the same time, maybe the most kind of straightforward prog, sounding song on the album. If you don't mind discussing that one as well.
Yeah, that came to life. I can't remember. Like, I remember the first couple of songs I wrote in the order, but then I forgot which came next, But that was a little rip-off. Stole a thing from another band. There's a band called UK. Okay. And they have a song called In the Dead of Night, and I like the vocal line thing there, and I was like, maybe I can borrow that. I mean, no one's called me out yet. Now I'm telling the truth, but I just nicked like a two notes basically that was inspired by that song, and it's more kind of straightforward by my standards, especially for this album, one of the more straightforward songs. But I wanted to have like a chaotic section, which is the heavy section, and it kind of ends up in a really chaotic section where it's just drum, axe, drum is blah, 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 and the bass Mendes is playing soloing, and his bass actually broke down as we recorded. Some noise in there. It's perfect. And then I wanted a calm section to round it off. So I wanted like the song is like now, new, now, contemporary, and nostalgia. So in the end, if you listen to the lyrics, it's very nostalgic. It was better before, that type of thing, But it was I with these songs I had fun with everything, fun with lyrics, fun with the music. It's almost a humorous record to me, even if it sounds really really stark and serious. It is, but it's also funny.